Hey, just had a quick thought. When we hear the phrase, forgive but don't forget, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget what you did. Tricky. Okay, a little tricky there. Because here's the thing while it is good to forgive, we have to remember we're not forgiving for them, we're forgiving for us. We're releasing the toxicity. Okay, that's number one. But here's the thing the ego has this way, whether we're talking to that person directly or talking about it to a third party. We'll always say what? I'll forgive them or I forgave them, but I'll never forget what they did. I'm forgiving you, so-and-so, but I will never forget what you did. We say that to hold whatever power we feel we may lose by forgiving them. That's such an ego thing, you know what I mean? We have to retain our ground. We feel we have to make it clear that even though I'm having this little moment of weakness, quote unquote weakness, which we know is not weak, to forgive is not weak, to forgive is divine, right? We have this quote unquote little moment of weakness where we're going to forgive somebody. We have to retain that power and whatever power we have left by making sure we make it known that we will not ever forget what they did. Now again, it's better than not forgiving at all, but here's the problem. If you hold on to a memory, I understand there are different levels, different things that happen, I get it. But when you hold on to a memory, you're still not doing yourself any favors. Remember what I said a few videos ago, and I know it's a lot easier said than done, but what did I say a few videos back? Keep the lesson, trash the memory. You could hold on to the lesson that you learned from that situation, whether it be not to trust everybody or not to put up with certain things, whatever that may be, okay? And again, I know that every situation is individual. I know there are things that go a little deeper than others. I understand that. But as a general thing, in general, when you say, I forgive you, but I won't forget what you did, again, it's ego-based, number one. Number two, you're not completely healing. You're not. You could keep what you learned from that situation, but don't hold on to the memory of whatever that was. Again, very hard to do, I understand that. But here's the deal. Even if it is hard to do, don't make it harder by saying that. I will never forget what you did. There's so much pain and hurt in that. And we think we're being, strong. We think we're being firm. We think we're being powerful. We're reclaiming ourselves when we say, I'll never forget what you did. I'll forgive you, but I'll never forget what you did. And no, you can't do it like that. You can't. Look, things are going to be hard enough to forget anyway, even though we all change, we all evolve. We're different people from 1 minute to the next. I get it. But to continue to beat that drum of I will never forget, I'll never forget, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're hurting yourself. You're not hurting them, you're hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we have to be very vigilant of where we're at. Mentally with it, spiritually with it, vibrationally with it, whatever it was that wronged us. Okay? We could still separate the event from the person. And that takes that takes a lot to do. You could separate the event from the person, from, whoever wronged you. But once again, even though you're separating the event, the goal in the long run is to eliminate the event. Remember what you learned from it. But take that lesson as somebody, because here's the thing, we always say, oh, my scars define me, my trauma defines me, and I understand that to a point. But if you beat the drum of your trauma, if you beat the drum of your scars, oh, I wear them with pride, I understand that, but are you really healing? Are you really healing when you do that? You know what I mean? Or are you going to continue to beat the drum of that? And again, my heart goes out to people who have been wronged. I've been wronged. Some more than others. I understand that. And who am I? I'm not judging anybody's trauma, or anybody's, Anybody that had been wrong, I'm not judging that at all. All I'm saying is, if you're going to forgive, you've got to forgive completely. You've got to forgive to the point where you're pretty much forgetting the incident, separating it from the person, and just keeping what you learned from it, the good parts of it, okay? But if you continue to pound the drama, I'll never forget, I'll never forget, I'll never forget, then you really haven't forgiven, have you? You think you have, but you haven't. Because your ego still needs to make it clear, I'm holding my ground. I got my eye on you, I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, if you're going to forgive, forgive. The 2 F words, right? If you're going to forgive, forgive. Make an effort to forget. Not what you learned from it, but the event itself, because you don't want to keep reliving that in your life. I know people do it. People do testimonies, and people will claim, that made me who I am today. I understand that. Believe me, at the 3D level, I totally get it. But if you keep, that's fine, okay? But if you're going to tell a person, I forgive you, don't give them the disclaimer. There you go. How about that? We always feel we need to put that little disclaimer. I forgive you, but I'm not going to forget. And you're not doing yourself any favors. You think you are. You think you're holding your ground. You think you're keeping that person in their place, but you're really not. You're only hurting yourself. So, I don't know if that made any sense, but if we're going to forgive and heal, we got to do it as best as we can all the way. That's all. All right. My heart goes out to everybody. Have a great one. Take care.